Hey there, YouTubers. This is your old pal Spidey right here, and I want to take this time to talk about The Watchmen. There we go, The Watchmen. And because of the recent popularity of the book and the movie, which is going to be coming out next year, I wanted to take this time to actually tell you the story. The story takes place between flashbacks between 1950 and 1986, I believe, but this is an alternate 1986. President Nixon's still in office. He's rather old, and the main plot of it is that there's going to be an impending doom that's going to happen at midnight. I can't remember exactly which day, but it's there's going to be a massive explosion of some kind. And so what they do is they start out in 1986. Rorschach is investigating the death of a older hero who's part of the first generation of heroes, called the Comedian. And the whole book basically is trying to solve this mystery while telling the histories of the different characters in their past. I don't want to really give any spoilers, but I just want to actually tell you that I will give spoilers. Who cares? If you don't like spoilers, then just don't watch the movie. But it's not like it's going to really ruin the movie at all anyway. So Rorschach is investigating the murder of Comedian while going to his friend the Night Owl, who since retired from the superhero business. Here we go. We have a picture of Rorschach right here. Rorschach is a rather intense vigilante. His origin is based on he was abused. Well, not really abused. His mother was kind of a whore, and his mother was not very kind to him. So he grew up tough. He grew up hard, and he later was sent to a boys' school because he was rather violent. And he got a job as a tailor, and he got this one special fabric a woman didn't want, because it was all black and white, looked like a cow, and it was made by some special material by Dr. Manhattan, a gigantic blue guy who is the only superpowered hero in the whole story. And see, throughout the story, he starts out wearing clothes, and as time goes on, he just loses a little bit of everything after a while. Right here, that's Dr. Manhattan, and that lovely lady in the corner there is the Silver Spectre, number 2. And she has retired also. She was only doing the superhero thing because her mother wanted her to actually do it, keep up the whole legacy and everything. But she quit after doing that and went into seclusion with Dr. Manhattan. And there they work on different special experiments and stuff like that for the government. Of course, though, Dr. Manhattan attained a level of kind of like standoffishness. He is eternal, and he's everywhere and doing everything, and he actually knows the future, but he lets it happen, and there's kind of a bit of a drama about that. And near the end of the book, he takes seclusion on Mars, where he decides that there's no real point of him intervening. But he decides at the very end he can intervene, but then it turns out that it's really just best if he just left everything alone. What they're trying to do is stop this explosion that happens, and what is caused by it is a special genetic monster developed by the character Ozymandias, who is a millionaire / genius, kind of like a Bruce Wayne character almost. But he is doing this for the greater mankind. his main justification of this, and actually it makes a lot of sense, is that right now what's happening is there's a war in Iran, and the Russians are invading, and he deduces by his own special intellect that things are not going to change, and he actually worries how the world's going to be. And so what he does is he decides to cause an explosion, killing over like thousands of people in New York, and he makes it like it's some alien, trying to come from our dimension to the next, when really it was an attempt, really technically a failed attempt, but a successful attempt. It failed at teleporting, but what happens is that when it teleports, it blows up. Anything that teleports blows up. The only person who can successfully teleport is Dr. Manhattan, and Ozymandias tries to tap into this technology, but is unsuccessful, but finds out it can be used as a weapon. And by having this weird monster go to New York and blow up, it causes the whole world to want to stop the war. And let's see if I can find that scene here. And it turns out actually he was the killer of the comedian, because the comedian knew what Ozzy was doing, and Ozzy didn't want him to get in his way. But the thing is, though, the comedian knew the biggest joke of all. I wish I remember what that was right now. It's a very complicated story. I wish I could remember all of it and tell you. But I give you a little bit of a taste of how the story is. I gave you the ending, and I gave you the beginning, and all the things in between. You just got to read for yourself. I suggest, some of the most more interesting things to do is how they show the gratuitous violence. Very, very beautiful, but very grotesque at the same time. This Rorschach dude is a very sick motherfucker. Here we go. We have a picture of the monster right there. Let's see if I can get a little bit of a... There we go. That was drawn by an Indian woman, by this who is the girlfriend of this lost author. And of course, everybody ends up dying in the end, including Rorschach. He doesn't agree that this is the way of saving the world, but he ends up getting killed anyway, because he knows that it's just supposed to happen. I think that was probably a good amount. I hope it wasn't too vague or too long-winded, which most likely it was. It's kind of like telling the whole history of Superman to somebody with ADD. And I really suggest picking up this book before the movie comes out. Hold on, let's see if I can get it. I really suggest getting this book before the movie comes out. That way you'll understand. I actually had to read this a second time to get everything what was going on, because I forgot most of it. But you really like the colors. I love the uses of red, the different ways of combining different stories. There's actually a small story inside which acts as kind of like a tie-in and trying to explain all the things that happened. It's a fictional comic book that the little black boy is reading, and of course everybody in New York ends up dying. It's rather sad, but it's rather poetic, very, very meaningful, very deep, and I can see how it can get the award of one of Time Magazine's 100 best novels. So that was the Watchmen review by your friendly internet Spider-Man, and I'd like to say good day and Excelsior.